Hi. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Nice to see you. How's everyone today? How was your recitation practice today? You know, I was thinking, a thought, as a circumambulating thought came to my mind. What is this Chan and parallel practice we're doing, we're claiming? And does it make sense? It turns out that every time that you are reciting the Buddha's name, you actually are reducing your karmic retributions. You're erasing karmic retribution as many as that you have created for a long time. And that's what we all know. And I said, what is the connection with life, with society? Actually, when you think about it, see, there's so much pollution out there from, we are polluting the air, and it's getting so bad that it's creating climate change and so forth. And they have yet to figure out how to scrub the air. And think of it, what we doing is more or less scrubbing the air. How are we doing it? What we're doing is we are cleansing our karmic retributions and reducing our three poisons: greed, anger, and stupidity. Every time you recite Buddha's name, you have fewer thoughts of those three poisons. So you are reducing the pollution to the energy of what we are. And you know, the scientists did a study and said the energy travels, it doesn't disappear. It travels round and round and round. And so, therefore, all the negative energy we're creating actually will go around. Okay? It's very destructive to society. And what we're doing is scrubbing ourselves of the three poisons, and therefore we're cleansing ourselves, not only ourselves, but depending on your kung fu, your samadhi level, you also are effectively cleansing the greed, anger, stupidity from around you as well. So it really makes a huge difference of your kung fu level, your skill level, your samadhi level, how much of a difference you can make, okay, quietly. Does it make sense to you? This is what we do. We quietly are helping, and no one knows about it. Someone has to do it. And if we are reducing this energy of greed and anger, stupidity, then everyone is better off. The world is better off. The world is a better place to live. And so it does make a difference. This is why we constantly urge you to work hard and improve your skills, because what we're doing is quietly making a difference. Okay? And you see in yourself, and if you see yourself feeling better, calmer, more peaceful, then you are creating that kind of influence with the people around you. All right? Oops. Yes, question and comments. Seven.
Jing Li says, my daughter has a question. I am a 12-year-old girl. I am bothered by what happened at school. Several months ago, a friend, also a classmate of mine, hang out with several students that I don't like. She had bad-mouthed me and my good friends with these people behind my face. She did not give me a birthday gift, but asked me for a gift on her birthday. She bugged me for a long time for failing to give her a gift. They would harass me and my friends verbally at school. I think she has more to say, but I neglected and endured, but she keeps on harassing me. I kind of find it difficult to endure anymore. What shall I do?
Birthday gifts? About birthday gifts?
It's about this girl who badmouths her and her good friends, and she didn't give her a birthday gift, but the girl's asking her for a birthday gift. And she kept bugging her to give her a gift and harass her and her friends verbally at school. So she neglected and endured it, but she keeps on harassing her. So she wants to ask what she should do.
Okay, we have a lot of wise people here in the audience, luckily. I have no idea. Please help out. You mothers and sisters and brothers and fathers, yes, 9. What are they supposed to do? What is she supposed to do? 9.
Oh, thank you, Master. So when I was in high school, I was faced with a similar situation. My best friend did something similar as well. He would go around bad-mouthing me behind my back. The thing is that he was actually angry at me, I think, because his parents would, he was suffering because his parents were always constantly saying, why can't you be more like your friend? Why can't you study more like your friend? And so his parents were pressuring him. But what I learned is that, when you have what you call friends who are bad-mouthing you, who are not being good friends, then just change friends. It's not worth bothering calling them friends because they do more harm to you. And when you go to college, all those friends that were bad-mouthing you, they're gone. You just make a new set of friends.
There's some wisdom there. You agree, disagree? Change friends, that's what Ray is suggesting. Yeah, she endured it for some time already, and it's not getting any better. So it's been suggested that it's time to sever the friendship and move on. What do you think? Yeah? Is there more? 7?
To clarify the situation, this girl is not her friend. It's her friend's friend that her friends hang out with her, and she doesn't like.
Okay.
Classmate of mine hang out with several students that I don't like.
So does it mean we should also cut off her friend as well, and then so that she is not bothered by her friend's friend? 9.
So if the friend's friend, complains to her friend, but her friend just doesn't continue bad-mouthing, then, it's still worth keeping that friend around. But, if the friend's friend is around, then it takes some effort to endure, ignoring that other person.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, 8.
예, 일단 이렇게 질문을 한 것 자체가 아까 뒤에 분이 얘기하신 것처럼 그냥 간단히 관계를 끊을 수 있는 그런 상황이 아니라고 생각을 합니다. 그래서 제 생각에는 일단은 그 친구에게 잘 해주고 내 편으로 만들 수 있도록 포섭을 하겠습니다. 예.
I think this situation itself, just like what Ray stated, it's not a simple situation that you could sever the relationship. So in this situation, this friend, this person, maybe try to treat this friend better and try to be easier to hang out with you, become more friend with you.
Okay, anyone else? This is a interesting thing. Yes, 3. I never had to deal with this before. I only hang out with one friend and that's enough for me. Yes, 3.
네, 저도 방금 전에 말씀하신 생각과 비슷한데, 저의 경우 같은 경우에는 그 예전에 저를 많이 괴롭히는 상사가 있었는데, 어느 순간부터는 그냥 싫어하고 미워하기보다는 그냥 그 사람이 행복했으면 좋겠다고 계속 기도를 하고, 그 사람이 계속 괴롭힐 때마다 좀 그 사람이 행복했으면 좋겠다라고 얘기를 많이 했습니다. 그러고 그 상사가 3개월 뒤에 떠났습니다. 저는 그래서 좀 싫은 사람이 생기면 저희 간의 그런 업을 녹이려고 열심히 좀 행복해라고 마음에도 없지만 그렇게도 하는 편입니다.
It's a similar situation. I agree with Musang. My situation, what I experienced was there was a boss who harassed me. What I did was I pray for the boss to be happier, and I wish for his happiness. I repeatedly say the prayer, and about 3 months later, he left the job. So from then, whomever that there's a problem with the relationship, I try to resolve the karmic retribution by praying and wishing for their happiness. Thank you.
Wow, how interesting. So the question that begs to be asked is, who do you pray to? How did you pray?
그냥 그 사람 이름 불러주면서 행복해라고 하고 계속 나쁜 생각이 들 때면은 그때는 관세음보살 연불 하면서 나쁜 생각을 끊어냈습니다.
What I did was I just called his name, and whenever the bad thoughts comes out, I called his name and wished for his happiness. And then when the bad thoughts arise, then I call Guanyin and then pray to her.
I see. So she prayed to Wan Yin to solve the problem, and Wan Yin took 3 months. I'm impressed. At least it took 3 months. There's some people in the world I wish would disappear for the last 5 years. He's still around. Could you help me? Okay, very good. Yes, that's one approach. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. First of all, I want to say I empathize very much with the young lady who is dealing with this situation. It's hard, and it hurts, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. So I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. When I was in middle school, we had a lot of bullies. And it sounds similar to what you're experiencing now. bullies want you to submit. And what I'm hearing the young lady describe is she is not submitting. And so the bully continues and continues and continues. Life doesn't have to be even. It's okay that she didn't give you a birthday present and she wants a birthday present from you. That's okay. Life isn't even.
To
You
give her a
can't-
birthday present is what you're suggesting?
Well, I think you have the option to give her a birthday present, and if that makes the hurting and the hard parts stop, what's so bad about that?
Won't
Maybe
you
you bring
resent
some
yourself
joy into her
for
life.
giving in? I'm asking you now, because you're being bullied and you give in because you're afraid. Wouldn't you feel bad about yourself, how cowardly you are? Even a boy and everything. I mean, girls, I can see that. But boys, how can we could possibly give in to being, bullied?
Well,
Doesn't bother you,
from-
clearly.
speaking for myself, it bothered me tremendously. And I fought every bully that came at me, and I suffered so much for it.
And you became a bully yourself.
Yeah, in a lot of
at
ways
work.
I did.
At work. Yeah,
I did.
It's not my way. I'm gonna bully you out of a job.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a bully
So-
who knows what he's doing.
So, don't wait 40 years to figure out what I learned listening to Master. You don't have to fight. You can bow. You have the option to give the birthday gift. It's really up to you what you want.
Oh, we can pay to 1 yin and maybe wait 3 months. Lots of good answers here. Anyone else? Yes, Wei Mountain. Wow, the world is so rich in experiences.
Master, we already have a good answer is maybe ask that lady to pray for the little girl, 12 years old, that it will go away. Hopefully that this situation will resolve. And I also have a request. Can she pray for me to have a boyfriend as well? Because I have been waiting for long and it's still not working.
There you go. Pray for him too and see what happens. I pray the 1 yin too, it doesn't work. There are certain things I pray the 1 yin she would give me right away. It's really strange things. But getting a boyfriend? I don't get it. I'm baffled. It's such weird things I asked for and I got it. But love, I can't. Yes, 7.
Sophia Gu says, Master, when I was in primary school, I was the friend who badmouthed my other friends, so I can speak from that perspective. I was under a lot of pressure from my parents back then and got yelled at a lot. I think she should understand that sometimes the only way people can feel relief is by projecting their afflictions onto somebody else. That way she can empathize with the girl and endure the verbal and harassment much better.
Very mature. How old is this girl who asked for help?
12.
12. Kind of hard to tell her that, Sophia's style of conflict resolution. It's pretty good for mature people who can understand. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. Anything else?
There's San Fran Daniel also has comment. Master, Master, would it be wise to talk to this youngster about our first guiding principle? You can fight but not harm, or is she too young? Maybe talk to her about the principle and have her make her own decisions to learn from.
If she's mature enough, I doubt that a 12-year-old will be able to understand the principle of not fighting. Okay. But yes, there's a commentary here before I say something. Yes, number 1.
Yeah, but so I teach middle school, and
That's the age group that you're teaching.
yeah.
Yes.
So I encounter this quite often, especially from my girls. And you do need to know that middle school friendships change all the time. It could be good and then bad the next day, and then you're best friends again a week later. But then you also need to know that as you move through your school career, that you're going to make new friends, and what's going to happen is you're going to have to learn skills that will help you in those relationships. And one of those skills would be communication. I would suggest talk to your friend who has this other friend regarding how you feel about the situation, and see if they would be able to help you with it, and if they will side with you and assist you with it. And then also set your boundaries with their friends. And I know it's hard as a 12-year-old to set boundaries, because sometimes you feel like, maybe this person won't like me, or my friend won't like me if I say no, or if I set boundaries. But it would be helpful to you. And from my experience, when you lose friends that are not good for you, you will attract friends that are better for you, and that will happen for you, I promise, as you move through your life. In terms of prayer, what could be helpful is maybe you can pray to Guan Yin for better friends, that you will attract friends that will be helpful to you, and so that you can handle situations like this.
Excellent. Very wise indeed. It's an acquaintance of her friend. So what is missing in the picture is, what is her friend doing? What does her friend have to say about it? So we don't have the information. So what she's suggesting is to talk to the friend and so forth. I imagine the friend knows already. If they are good friends, I'm sure they talk to each other daily, and therefore the friend should know. And why is it the friend did nothing to protect her? So that's what I feel is missing in the picture. So if in your reasoning, then if a friend is like that, then maybe it's time to change friends. You move on. Some friendships are good for you, some are not. Okay, and this is how you go through life, and you learn. You learn to recognize what's good for you and who's good for you. Okay, and yes, of course, you pray. Prayer always works. Is always helpful. A lot more helpful than you think. But the one thing I don't know if it applies to adults, but I feel the problem is very similar for us. When we build this dependency when we are kids, where we depend on our friends, don't we? When we went to, when we were younger, going to school, we have a very close friends. Most of us have close friends, except for some weird people. We don't have friends at all. They're outliers. There's nothing to talk about. They're depressed or whatever the reason, they don't have friends. But most of us would have a very close friend. Yes or no? Just me? No one? No one else? Okay. And you hang on to that person because it's like your brother, closer than your own brother, your sister. No? Why is that? Is there a certain human need there that's being ignored, or that we don't pay enough attention to? That's interesting to me. Looking back, I see how I used to hang on to my close friend. I used to tutor and make money. So everything we went out together, I paid for everything. And that's how I maintained my friendship. Okay? So I'm asking you, does it ring a bell to you where we used to have a very close friend that you trust and you confide and you hang out together? Is there a thing here? So is it fair for us to say, change friends? Tell this 12-year-old to change friends, move on, and find another friend, which takes a long time to build. It's not easy. Have you thought about it? There's a human need here where we need to feel comfortable with someone. And we hope it's our wives, but actually it's not the case. Never mind, I'm sexist. Okay, I admit. Okay, but you know what I mean? You don't have this need here where you can confide with someone and you let your guards down. You know, he's my friend, she's my friend. I can trust her more than I trust my own brothers and sisters. Anyone had that need? Huh? Yes? So there's a human need there. What is it based on? Because you're asking her to change friends. If the friend has not been doing anything to protect her, and the friend failed in the friendship. Is it fair to ask her to change friends or move on? Yes? Four.
I think that friendship just build naturally, Master, and based on trust. That's all.
Naturally? But I think the pattern repeats itself. You find a friend, and then I don't know about the Asians, but in the West, Western education, we, especially in the U.S., it's a friendships of convenience. Agree or disagree? You're friends because you do things together and we stop doing things together and you move on and find another friend. Yes? It's basically a convenience. Friendship out of convenience. Yes? One.
Yeah, but I think it depends on your need as a person. So sometimes it's convenience, sometimes it's the same hobbies, but then sometimes it's someone that you want to be able to share with. Sometimes it's Dharma sisters and brothers, in the Sangha or in the community. So I think it really depends on each person's need in terms of like how they look at friendships and how they build them.
Quite often, I'm saying yes, of course, there's always individual situations, but in general, in a Western, that's why I'm trying to get feedback from you. My impression is that in the West, we make friends and we get close to people out of convenience. Okay, and we protect each other because we need each other, but it's not necessarily the kind of bond you would have. Okay, that, for example, with your brother or your sister. You may disagree, but deep down, you still, there's a blood relationship. Yes? Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I agree with you about friends, especially when you're young, are out of convenience. I think for me, I would say your friends when you're young are based on proximity because your world is very small.
Yes, I agree.
And you have to survive that world one way or the other, and friends help.
Yes.
So I really like Chui's comments about communication. That's a skill to build, regardless of if your world is 8 people, 16 people, 24 people. That's a really important skill. And I send a lot of positive energy to the young lady for the courage to go through this. And I really appreciate her asking the question.
Actually, I also appreciate the fact I hear that a teacher has such wisdom to guide our children. I'm very happy to hear that. I only so far heard of the students complaining and the teachers don't care, or they're temperamental and really don't have much to offer the children. So I'm very pleased to hear that there's a certain guidance and caring for the children. This is what we need from our teachers. Okay, and we need to draw these types of people, these types of teachers to our schools and take care of them. I think it's so important. Okay, because it affects the emotional health of our children. We're talking about the health of a 12-year-old now. If you don't handle it properly, she might be scarred for a long, long time. Okay, and so. To me here, my perspective is that I'm more concerned not about the temporary thing of the being harassed and bullied and so forth. I'm more interested in showing to her that use this opportunity to teach her to bond with people who have hearts, have good hearts. Don't hang around people who have no good here inside of them. It's not so much about friendships. It's not so much about being accepted. Yes, we all need to be accepted. We all yearn to be liked. Yes. That's our weakness. Okay, we need that being accepted in society. This is why we live together. But it's very important to me that we need to teach our children, the people we care for. Okay, our children, our nieces, nephews, and so forth, that they should pick people to get close to who have good hearts. I can change you, I can help you become smarter, teach you to become smarter, but I cannot change your heart. The heart needs to be nurtured. The goodness needs to be reinforced. And that's why the function of your friend there, who you hang out with, is very, very important to me. Because it has this invisible influence before you know it, that because what your friend do, what your friends do will influence you. You think it's normal. What your parents do will influence you. If your father yells at your mother, then this is what we end up doing when you grow up. You yell at your wife. Because it's a conditioned learning. Okay? So whatever it is, I would use this opportunity to teach her to learn, to hang out with good people. It's so important. Good kids. Yes, you'll be bullied. Yeah, you'll run into situations that are uncomfortable, very difficult to deal with. Okay, but all that you can survive. Okay, if you have a base to go back to, the base of a good friend, someone who really cares, someone who shares in the same value as you, to do good, to be a good person. That to me is not emphasized enough to our children. Yes, we only teach them how to make gain, and avoid pain and suffering, but we don't teach them to be a good person enough. We don't put enough emphasis on that. And being a good person means that sometimes you have to bear the injustices. You have to bear that people don't like you and your friends don't approve of you in school and you're not popular. Okay? But it builds character. It doesn't have. You don't always have to get what you want. You don't always have to be accepted. When you stand your grounds of doing the right thing and being a good person and pay the price for it. And when it's so unbearable, pray to God, pray to Wan Yin, pray to whoever. Don't pray to me. Okay? You see what I mean? It's so important. We fail to stress this in our children. Be a good person. And you have to pay a price for being a good person. It builds character. For this girl here, 12-year-old teenager, to be bullied, harassed by someone, it's a great opportunity to tell her, to stand her ground. And it's okay to be harassed. It's okay. Take the hardship, take the difficulties, endure it. As an outlet. If you can't, pray. Pray to Wan Yin. If you pray to Wan Yin when you can't take it anymore, you pray to Wan Yin, you see how wonderful it is. Wan Yin will come to you and give you relief instantaneously. So that now, if she sees that, she's even more committed to being a good person. Because let me assure you, Wan Yin wants you to be a good person. It will help you. You can believe in that. Okay? It's very important to me for that young lady to learn not to compromise her values. Okay? Don't have to give in just so that you're accepted, so that you're popular. That's nonsense. Your friends will change. It doesn't matter. I look at my friends throughout my life, my career. My friends change constantly, as Tui says. You move on. Or Peter says, friendship of convenience. But even in friendship of conveniences, you find that some people really care. People you go back to. You say you send them a card. Every now and then, hey, I haven't talked to you for like several years. How is it going? We still care deep in our heart. There's some people like that. Like the other day, I met with Ray's dad, which I admit to you, he stood out in my mind when I was a novice. Because he's the only one that I met as a lay person, and only rare few left home people. And that one lay person there who really is a good heart. He says, I just want to help. That's it. No ulterior motives, nothing expected in return. Okay? When I can help, let me help. That's all. And it's stuck out in my mind. And so, wow, I am lucky to meet such a person I can remember. And is inspiring. Now you can be like that. It's nice. She's still riding horses. You could clearly. Okay, so I don't have a clean answer, but I would that's what I would recommend. Use the opportunity to say, stand the ground, be a good person. And yes, one.
Just a comment here. I'm recently doing my will. So,
Your will?
Yeah.
Oh, you are a good planner.
Yes, estate planning.
Thanks for reminding me. Is there, yeah. Never mind.
So one very important part of the will is if, oh, by the way, I have an 11-year daughter. So if I and my husband die at the same time, who should take the custodian of the daughter? And usually it's closest family member who should be around the same age or younger than me. So that's a good choice. But for me, I'm a single child, so I don't have any close relatives. But my husband has a younger brother, only like a year and a half younger than him. However, they were close when they were young, but they like grew apart from each other. And but so we don't really know what's going on with him. So, but we ended up not choosing a relative or his brother as a custodian, but instead we are choosing a close friend as a custodian as for my daughter if both of us die. So these friends, as you said, is for certain point is for convenience because we live really close. The children are similar age. They grew up together. We never share like that much about personal life, but we support each other all the way along. Even though sometimes friends are for convenience, but when the time we really need help, there are people there to support us. So yeah, just my comment here.
Well, clearly you are not that rich. That's why you still have good friends. Rich people, they get to the point where they say, they like me because of my money or because of me. Yeah, it's a sad and lonely existence, let me tell you. And they're not prepared for being rich because they look at money, profits only, not at the heart. One piece of advice for you. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I really appreciate the question. Growing up in Christian communities, in the church, they have godparents. I've wondered, in Buddhism, do they have Buddha parents?
That's an idea. Buddha parent, Bodhisattva parent, Arhat parent. We have a lot of choices. They only have God. We have a lot of different choices, multiple options. So do we have a God and parents? Here's the problem we have. It's okay to talk about how I like you, I trust you, and I spend time with you. But when you're given a lot of money that you can control, your viewpoint change. And that's my concern, That's my problem. You hear of, for example, the parents die and the children are left alone, and all of a sudden they get adopted, or they get a relative who really take good care of them. And of course, there's other cases where they're miserable and the children are not well taken care of, and so forth. There's always different cases, but the explanation is that it's not about money; it's about blessings. If you really care for your children, you give them blessings. I can't emphasize this enough. Worldly people only look at money in the bank account as security and safety, but nothing is further from the truth. The best security is the blessings that you have. Blessings manifest itself in the forms of health, forms of safety, in forms of houses, in the forms of jobs, in the forms of a good spouse, and so forth. A lot more than people realize. And this is where I used to know a lot of rich people, and they raise their children by teaching them to take care of the money. But those children end up becoming just like their own parents. I don't like them at all. I don't like the parents. I don't like the children who's becoming like the parents. So it's sad to see that. Sad that people only see money, only see profits as the most important part of life. I feel the missing out. When I talk to you about deciding to be a good person, growing your heart, it requires a lot of blessings. If you have blessings, your friends yelling at you or betraying you won't bother you at all. You move on that easily. Okay? So, thank you for completing the message, the picture. Blessing. You build blessings. Help your children build blessings, or teach them when they get older. Teach them that they should build blessings. Okay, that's what we do when we sign the Buddha's name. We are creating blessings for ourselves in the Pure Land. Okay, and that's not being emphasized enough from the Pure Land teachers. They only talk to you about rebirth of the Pure Land, but they don't understand the basis of rebirth of the Pure Land as you have enough blessings to deserve to be there. You don't have enough blessings? Good luck. Try again. All right? Any other questions? Yes, 7.
Just a comment from Jing Li. She says, "Thank you, Master. Thank you, everyone. Emitofuo."
Okay. Anything else? Yes, Nacho, Macho. 8.
Thank you, Master. You were saying that we have that need of having a friend, a special friend. Yeah. Why is that?
Because I don't quite know, but because it's like the need for intimacy in a way, where you can know someone that you know that you can be real close, and you can share things. And I don't know, you help me out. I'm not normal, so I can't tell you. You have this need, this bond. It's you call it love of your wife, of your husband, okay? But that changes into something, love your children, and so forth, and hate, and so forth. But there's always this need here where you have this sense of intimacy that I think people are looking for. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Let me think about it. There's a need here, but I can't put my fingers on it. We all have this thirst, you know. Yes, go for it. Oh, the Sunim now spoke up.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. Very patient. He observed all these days.
First of all, I really thank you for thank Master for allowing me to join such a wonderful retreat in this great temple, Golden First Temple.
I have three questions. I remember when you were giving a talk in Bora Chan Center in Bundang, Korea. I remember you put great emphasis on the importance of attaining samadhi power to fully understand Pure Land Buddhism. My first question, could you explain more specifically about the correlation between gaining samadhi power and understanding Pure Land Buddhism? This is my first question.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay. My second question is, in many Mahayana sutras, various types of samadhi are mentioned. Is there any specific type of samadhi we need to attain to be reborn in the Western Pure Land?
Okay.
Yeah, and my third question, if we entered deep state of samadhi, can we see or meet Amitabha Buddha or, various bodhisattvas while we are in meditation?
Okay, and now you heard all three questions. Feel free to answer them. Let's do our collective wisdom. Show me what you've learned. Yes? Go first. No? Anyone? Don't be shy now. Now it's time to shine. What have you learned? See? I rest my case. The samadhi level is not high enough. Yes, one.
Hi, Sunim. I'd like to try your first question. From my understanding is that through Chan meditation, we can gain samadhi power and improve our samadhi level. And according to Tai, once you reach the Buddha recitation samadhi, then you can go to the Pure Land. So if you increase your samadhi level and you recite the Buddha's name, it's easier for you to get to the Buddha recitation samadhi, which then would help you get to the Pure Land. So that's how they go hand in hand, is that by building your samadhi power, you can reach the recitation samadhi. That's my understanding.
Okay, very good. Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. Question. The first question, the answer is yes. The second question, the answer is no. And the third question, the answer is yes.
And what are the questions again? just for to make sure we don't get the wrong ideas.
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the answers.
Okay, anyone else who remembers what the first question was? No one? Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. I think I forgot question 1 and 2, but I think I remember question 3. He says something about samadhi level where you can see bodhisattva, vice versa. And I think I remember a couple days ago I asked that kind of similar question.
Uh-huh. And what was the answer?
Yeah.
Oh, pray, tell us the answer.
No, it was at like low levels. I think I asked questions something like, you're in low level samadhi, you're in saha world. And if you achieve high levels like samadhi, you will be able to travel other realms, and you could kind of, I guess, travel universe infinitely. Maybe at that point, you could see bodhisattva and other living beings. Thank you.
Okay, let me correct it right away. When you practice, whatever spiritual practice you have, it's very important for you to avoid being greedy. When you practice and say, if I practice this, how long would it be before I see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? And the answer is very long, if that's how you practice. Okay, I hope it takes you forever to ever see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Because you practice and say, I need to see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then your practice is, you're on the wrong path. You seeking, and therefore you won't get very far. Okay? You're greedy and say, I need to see results. Then it's not called spiritual practice. It's called worldly pursuits. You know different and say, I do this because one day I want to shake the president's hands and get a medal. Okay, I want a reward for this. And this is not what we are advocating. You're advocating, practicing, and it's never a goal for you to be able to see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because it's not that important for you to see the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It's too self-centered to say, I do this because I want to see the Bodhisattva. There's still an I at the center of the universe. And it's a wrong spiritual path. Our path is that when you practice, eventually the I disappears. The small selfish I of yours disappears. And then your real self, the real self that has a huge heart, that has unlimited kindness and compassion, will come to the fore and take over. And the small self that you have right now, who's seeking to see the Bodhisattvas, will no longer wield any influence in your life. Okay? And that's why it's very important. Very important. I'm glad that he asked the question, because I want you to be mindful, to be aware of that. Well, when I teach you, it is my purpose. Even when you recite the Buddha's name, it is for you to squash that small self, the small selfish self. It's not what this is about. Okay? You're much better than that. You deserve better than that. And so don't shoot yourself in the foot by setting such limited goals in your practice. I do this because I want to see the Buddha. It's very much like I want to see a Buddha, get a medal or get recognition of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and so forth. It's worldly pursuit. It's not spiritual pursuit. Okay, that's not what we're doing. Okay, number 3 question. I hope never. Okay. When they decide to come, let them come. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas let you see them for a reason. If they feel that it helps you, they will let you see them. If they feel that it's not helpful, they won't let you see them. Okay? So it's no point in trying to say, when do I get to see them? That's wrong. Yes, Wei Mao.
Master, related to the question, the answer that the lady just said about the Buddha recitation samadhi, Master, what is it? And how do we enter the Buddha recitation samadhi? What is it like?
It's like when you enter it, eventually you know. Okay? It's like, how do you describe Samadhi? You will know eventually. And eventually, when you practice, this is why we don't tell you too much. Because we tell you, then you become greedy again. And say, oh, okay, how much before I can see this? Did you do it? Have you? Were you able to do that? No, it's just, we have a goal there. So we know in general that when we recite the Buddha's name, eventually you will enter the Buddha recitation samadhi, because this is everything here is geared towards that and more. So we don't stop there. Okay, so and the one reason why we won't stop there, one way that we help you not stop there is not to make you greedy. Okay? Yes, everything we do will help you develop that samadhi power. More importantly yet, everything we do is geared towards helping you get to the Pure Land. The recitation samadhi is only one way. There's many, many more ways. All right? So don't be too stuck on this Buddha recitation samadhi. It will happen naturally. I can assure you, for example, in our small little world, BLI nation, there are plenty of people who have achieved the Buddha recitation samadhi already. I don't even tell them. It's not necessary. It doesn't matter. Okay? I tell you because I feel it's useful to you. I don't tell you because I feel it's a waste of my time and your time, even to listen to it. All right, GF.
Con không có dám trả lời 3 câu hỏi này, nhưng mà con có một cái nhận xét thôi. Là 3 câu hỏi này đều muốn thành tựu pháp môn niệm Phật bằng định lực. Nhưng mà con xin mượn những câu chuyện của thầy Hiền Trì. Ông kể có thể là mọi người đều đã biết hết rồi, là khi ông ở trong tù, ông nói ra ông tìm được một cái cuốn kinh A Di Đà, nói rằng chỉ cần niệm 10 niệm thôi thì sẽ được vãng sanh. Đơn giản như vậy. Và thầy mỗi tối thầy niệm 10 niệm trước khi ngủ. Chỉ sau một thời gian ngắn thì với cái lòng tin sắc son như vậy đó, thì thầy thấy là Đức Phật A Di Đà hiện ra và dùng cái y che cái thân của ông, của thầy lại. Thì như vậy cái nhận xét của con là với lòng tin mạnh mẽ thì chúng ta có thể cảm ứng được Đức Phật. Xin hết.
Emitofuo, Master, I wouldn't dare to answer these 3 questions. However, I would like to have one perspective about these 3 questions, is that all of these 3 questions are all about wanting to accomplish the Dharma of Buddha recitation by using Samadhi. However, I would like to use this opportunity to recounter the story of Venerable Old Monk Master Hsin I have been telling us about this, and I think that everybody have already known about his story, is that when he was in the prison, somehow he found the sutra, Amitabha Sutra, and in the sutra, there's a verse which said, those who recite my name 10 times unconfused will be able to rebirth into my Pure Land. And it's only that simple. So therefore, every day with his lòng tin sâu sắc. His deep faith, every night he recite Buddha names 10 times, and within a short period of time, he had a dream, and in the dream, he saw Amitabha Buddha appear and using his sash to cover Venerable Sincher. And therefore, with our strong faith, we can have such response from Amitabha Buddha. That's all. Emitofuo.
Very good. That's a very good point. And the point being that, let me clarify for you, the reason that the old abbot is able to do that is because of his blessings. When you have adequate blessings, you hear of this instruction says, go, come to my Pure Land. I take care of you. And I say, yeah, that sounds good. And the conditions were that he says, anything beyond this life in the labor camp is far better. If there's a world like Amitabha Buddha's, then it's worth shooting for. And all I have to do is recite 10 times a day, okay? And that's what he did. And the reason he decided to do that is because he had rebirth blessings. Okay? And so again, you want good things to happen to you, you have to cultivate blessings. Don't be like worldly people who says, I'm here, I'm important. Take care of me. Seriously? The Buddha have to take care of you? You're so special. What have you done for him? What have you done for society to deserve such a special treatment? You want a medal here in the world, you have to have acts of courage. You want to rich, you have to make a lot of personal sacrifices, including your personal life, your family life, time with your children, your own health. What have you done? See, this is the wrong premise for people to come to us and say, hey, it sounds good, so take me. No, you should ask yourself, do I deserve the Buddha coming to bring me back to the Pure Land or not? That should be the question. If you're smart, you really have wisdom, you really have blessings, you would be doing that. You'd be asking yourself, what do I need to do? It sounds so wonderful. What do I need to do? Don't have the attitude of Western educated people here in this country in these times where me, I'm special. Give it to me. No, you have to earn it. We all have to earn it. What have you done to deserve for the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, to bring you back to his world and take care of you until the day you become a Buddha yourself? That should be foremost in your mind if you really believe. You see, the Asian has said, Pure Land Buddhism is faith, vows, and practices, but they never explain to you faith. What is faith? Really have faith in the Dharma door? You'll have faith in the Pure Land? You'll have faith in the Amitabha Buddha? Then you should be taught next. Do something to deserve. If you really have faith, you must prove your faith by making yourself worthy to go there, worthy of the Buddha to bring you back to his world and take care of you. No one ever taught the Asians that. Why? Because they're afraid that you won't like it. And that's why none of them, very few of them will make it. Because they They're cultivating, they go to the Pure Land Dharma and say, hey, me, reciting Buddha's name, me, important. Buddha, take care of me. Instead of teaching you, make yourself worthy. Don't be so short-sighted. Don't be so full of yourself. You're not that special, let me assure you. You're nothing. What have you got? Why should he take care of you? Of all the people in the universe, he singles you out to bring you back to his world? What did you do to deserve such a treatment? Show me your faith. What have you done? All you say is, this sounds good, so Buddha, bring me back. Here's my number. Call me. Seriously? You don't have faith. You only have faith in yourself. That's not called faith in the Pure Land Dharma door. What's the matter with these Asian teachers? So they're kissing up to you, so that you follow them and say, oh, adore me as your master, so that we together will propagate Pure Land Buddhism. And guess what? None of them is going to go to Pure Land because they never developed the faith properly. They're cultivating the ego, say, hey, I'm important. I'm a Pure Land practitioner. Like me, respect me. You like because you have to earn it. You respect it because you have to earn it. You brought back to the Pure Land because you have to earn it. When are you going to wake up to that? So instead of saying, Buddha help me, you should ask yourself, have I done enough to deserve the Buddha's kindness? What do you call it? Graces? Okay? This is a problem with nowadays. The teachers are so kissing up to you, feel so important to kiss up to you to get a lot more followers instead of telling you the truth. Truth is that we all have to earn it. So stop it. Stop doing things that are wrong that will prevent you from going to the Pure Land. Okay, what are the questions 1 and 2 again? Remind me. Question 1. I answer them now. No one knows? No one remembers? Yes, 4.
Question number 1 is the relation between he want to know the correlation between the Samadhi power and the Pure Land practice.
Relationship between Samadhi power and Pure Land? No, he said, I keep on insisting you should improve. What's the relationship? Yes? Sunim, could you repeat the question, please? The first two questions?
First question was, could you explain more specifically about the correlation between Samadhi power, gaining Samadhi power, and understanding Pure Land Buddhism? I think you answered enough about this first question.
No, I haven't answered it yet. Number 2?
Not yet.
Okay, let me answer number 1. Okay, yeah. My memory is very bad. So what's the relationship between Samadhi power and the ability to understand Pure Land Buddhism? It was spoken in the context of my telling people, especially the teachers. It was directed at the teachers, the sunims and the monks and the nuns who try to teach Buddhism. You should ask yourself, do you have enough Samadhi power to understand Pure Land Buddhism? Don't say that I want to teach Buddhism, I want to teach Pure Land Buddhism because it has to be taught. No, in our profession, in our world, you teach what you know, and you have to take responsibility for what you teach. And you don't have enough wisdom to understand Pure Land Buddhism, then don't teach it. It's not enough for you to say, I want to propagate Pure Land Buddhism. You should ask yourself first, am I capable of propagating Pure Land Buddhism? If you don't have enough samadhi power, have enough wisdom, have enough knowledge, and you teach Pure Land Buddhism, like Jing Kung, for example, you'll be in trouble, and your followers will be in trouble. You'll be doing a disservice to Buddhism, to yourself, and to your followers. So that's why I said in a roundabout way, that do you have enough samadhi power to understand Buddhism? You don't? Then it takes a lot of samadhi power to understand Pure Land Buddhism. I can't see of many people who understand Pure Land Buddhism in the world right now. So learn, hone your samadhi skills before you can really understand Pure Land Buddhism. Because that's the problem right now with Pure Land Buddhism. The Pure Land Buddhism teachers do not understand Pure Land Buddhism at all. They can't even explain the concept called faith. If they cannot explain faith, they don't understand vows either. They don't understand practices either. So you're wasting your time, you're wasting people's times. That's all you're doing. I have no problem with you saying, I don't understand Pure Land Buddhism. Okay? I will never claim I understand Pure Land Buddhism. So what do? If we follow the teachings of someone who understands Pure Land Buddhism. Who? Master YongHua. Then you have my support. I will support you. Okay? He said, this is what Master YongHua taught. This is what he said we should be doing for the 4G and so forth. Do that. Then you're building your samadhi power. You're building your blessing. You're building your faith. You're increasing your chance of rebirth to the Pure Land yourself. But don't say that I need to make a living, I need to pay for my mortgage and pay for my utility bills, and because it's still better for a place for people to come and bow to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, therefore I should need to make a living. I'm a purist. You don't need to make a living. Who says monks and nuns have to make a living? Cut it out. You cannot make a living, there are plenty of places who will support you so that you have a chance to cultivate and open your wisdom first. This is our system in the Sangha, where we invest in you. I'm investing in all of you. We're supposed to do that. Why? Because my master invested in me. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas invested in me. So now I'm investing in you. That's what we do. So that you can build your samadhi power. You know you don't have it yet. How? You got afflicted so easily. I insult you and you stand up and you walk out of here right away. You expect me to like you. And I say, no, I don't like you. And what do? You say, I don't like you either, Master. Sayonara. That's no samadhi power. Okay? So I'm really being very unpleasant because I feel that I like it when I hear monks and nuns who say, I don't understand, and this is what I learned from that person who understands. That's what they're supposed to do. Don't pretend to know. Don't pretend to teach things that you don't understand. You get in trouble yourself, and you are harming your disciples, your students. Please don't do that. Okay, there's no need for you to do that. We have an ideal here as monks and nuns. Okay, question number 2.
Yeah, number 2. In Mahayana Sutras, in many Mahayana Sutras, various types of samadhi are mentioned. Is there any specific type of samadhi we need to attain to be reborn in the Western Pure Land?
Yes. Well, the samadhi that you need to reach is called the Buddha recitation samadhi, which is not very high. It's rather low. If you have some samadhi power and you practice building your samadhi power, and then you switch to reciting the Buddha's name like I did, then you can enter that Buddha recitation samadhi a lot easier, a lot faster. Okay? What happened is that when you build your samadhi power, like the way that's why we advocate Chan and Pure Land in parallel, because we build the practices geared towards using a Chan training to help you build your samadhi power. Okay? And then when we recite the Buddha's name, if your samadhi power is this high and the Buddha recitation samadhi level is this low, then it's for you to go down here to enter this samadhi. Is very easy. It's not that hard. You see? So you see what I mean by say everything we hear, everything we do is geared towards helping you develop that samadhi, enter that samadhi. Okay? That's all. But we don't stop there. You see, all the other teachers are saying, recite Buddha's name, practice Pure Land to enter this Buddha recitation samadhi and go to Pure Land. We're telling you it's not enough. Go much higher. Then you can enter this Buddha recitation samadhi. Plus, your rebirth rate will be a lot higher. You're much better off with that approach. And that's Xing. That's the practice that the Asians are not teaching you. Because they don't understand how to enter the Buddha recitation samadhi. And much less how to help you build samadhi power so that your rebirth rate is much higher. Would you like to be born into a higher grade than lower grade? The reason that the Asians are so desperate is because they just don't know how to do it. All they care for is get me to the Pure Land, because the teachers don't understand how to bring them to the Pure Land. That's why their disciples are so desperate. I don't see anyone desperate here, do I? Anyone you desperate to go to the Pure Land? But it's only 12. Let's face it, it's only 20 of them here altogether. So it's hardly a good sample. Okay. But the point is, if you have a big picture, you won't be desperate. Why should you be desperate? Huh? Would the Buddha be willing to accept desperate people? If I were him, I wouldn't. But I'm no Buddha. Okay? Does it help? Yeah.
Thank you, Master.
Anyone else has any question? We have 15 minutes. Yes, Nacho 8.
Thank you, Master. So, is it like if you want to go to the Pure Land, you have to build the blessings, so Emitofuo will choose you, or something like that?
Yeah, let me paraphrase it for you.
Okay, thank you.
This is Mahayana Pure Land Buddhism. I'm not talking about Hinayana Pure Land Buddhism. I don't care what they do. I'm teaching you Mahayana Pure Land Buddhism. All right? My approach to Pure Land Buddhism is different from the way they do it. I've spelled it out for you. Number one, how badly you want to go to the Pure Land. Okay, how badly do you want it? Ask yourself, what are you willing to do? Number two, in order to get there, you need help. You need help from someone who knows how to get there. In a Chan school, you want to become enlightened, you're gonna definitely need help for someone who knows the way. And this Buddhism is called the way, the Four Noble Truths. It's not really Hinayana, it's actually Mahayana, the way. To end all your worries, all your suffering. The way. And what is the way? The way is the way. It can't be more obvious than that. Why are you asking me? The way. The way to San Francisco. What is the way to San Francisco? There's a clear path to go to San Francisco. Yes? The way to the Pure Land. There's a clear path to go to the Pure Land. There's a way to enlightenment. There's a clear path to enlightenment. That's what the Buddha said. There's a way. There's a path. And I know, I walked it, the Buddha said. Why do you get excited again? Oh, I didn't exercise today. That's why. You got it? The Buddha says, I know. I walked it. You should walk it too. That's what he said. And the Hinayana said, but you're stealing the teaching from us. No, you idiots. It's Mahayana teachings. You know, Hinayana. The Buddha says, there's a way. First turning, there's a way for you to be happy forever. Second turning of the wheel, I accomplished it. Number three, you should too. It's beautiful. What is not clear about this? Yes, do you have a question, ma'am? Yes, 6.
Dạ thưa thầy, con có một cái câu hỏi. Con cũng muốn khao khát được đi giảng sanh. Cho nên con nghe lời Phật dạy là nếu như mà mình muốn đi được Đức Phật A Di Đà đón nhận, thì trong cái lúc mà mình bệnh hoạn mà mình sắp ra đi, nhưng mình vẫn còn nhớ được cái câu niệm A Di Đà, thì sẽ được Ngài đón. Và con nghĩ là khi con ngồi thiền, nhiều lúc cái cơ thể con rất là đau, và con đã vượt qua cái đau đó là con niệm A Di Đà để vượt qua cái cơn đau đó. Thì để con nghĩ là mình tập như vậy, thì lúc mà khi mà mình đau đớn, lúc mà mình bệnh hoạn đau đớn lâm chung, thì mình vẫn còn nhớ được, dù đau cỡ nào mình vẫn còn nhớ được cái câu niệm A Di Đà đó. Thì con muốn hỏi thầy như vậy là cái cách mà con tập cho con như vậy á, là con có phải là con tạo lòng tin đúng không, hay là con đang chấp niệm vô cái việc mà con niệm cái câu A Di Đà đó, thưa thầy? Dạ hết à.
Emitofuo, Master, I have a question. So I've always been desperate to rebirth into the Pure Land, Western Bliss Pure Land. Therefore, I have heard the Buddha's sermon, which taught us that if we want to have Amitabha Buddha accept and bring it to the Pure Land, so during the time that we get sick and we're about to depart this world, but we are able to remember of his name and recite, then we will be able to have Amitabha Buddha welcome and bring us back to the Pure Land. So I think that during the time that I sit and meditate, sometimes is very painful. The way that I can cross over that was to recite Amitabha Buddha's name. So I think that if we are practice in this way, then when the time that we are so sick, before we pass away, despite of all of the pain and suffering, we can be able to recite the Buddha when we about to pass away. My question is, when I do that, is that the correct way, or I'm attached to the way that I've been reciting the Buddha name, Emitofuo?
The direct answer is you're on a good path, but it still could be better. And this is what is very important for you. That I hope that you will open your heart and help people like hers. Okay, because you see, the nature of the question is that I'm not sure. Am I doing it right? Okay. Is that how you hear it too? Am I doing it right? Am I going to get reborn to the Pure Land or not? And so you're going to find people like this, many of them who come to the temple. I hope that you open your heart and then find a way to help them, because I don't have time to talk to them. I don't have time to teach them. Okay? My time is not suited to teaching everyone. You have to step up yourself. Okay? And make them feel comfortable, and share with them what you know, because I cannot possibly answer everyone and hold everyone's hands. It's your jobs as lay people and left home people. This is how you make yourself worthy to go to Pure Land yourself, by helping others understand the Dharma door and increase their chance of rebirth, their chances of rebirth to the Pure Land themselves. That's how you make yourself worthy to go there, by helping others. Am I making myself clear? Okay? This is your jobs, not mine. I cannot answer everyone's questions. I cannot talk to everyone. I cannot answer all the questions. It's you. We have to increase the comfort level. You know, the reason she asked me is because she trusts. She likes us and she trusts us. And the same principle, okay, that you have to help people by spending time with them, explaining things to them. That's all. It takes time. All right? I've been seeing her come to the temple for quite a while now. And now she's asking questions, say, I want to be reborn, I'm doing this, is this correct? And I said, yes, part of it is good, it could be better, is the answer. Okay? These people, as you are all learning as well, so you will learn more, okay? But the one thing that I can tell you, let me finish my point and then we'll be clearer to you. Okay, I started by telling you that the Buddha said there's a path, you should walk it. Yes? He says, let me paraphrase it for you. There is a way for you to go to the Pure Land. All right? Buddha says, I can do it, I've done it. Okay, I can do it. Okay, and number 3, you should do it too. Right? So, number 1, he says, you should go to the Pure Land. That's a sure way for you to end your suffering by the end of this life of yours. Forever. It's something to get excited about. It's endless suffering we are experiencing right now, every single day. Yes or no? Every single day is a struggle for us. Yes? There's no end in sight. Life is more overwhelming every single day. Unless you turn a blind eye and say, oh, I don't want to talk, I don't want to look, I don't want to see, I don't want to hear it. Okay? It's hard. Okay? There's so much suffering. And the Buddha says, there's a way to end all this suffering. And I've certified to it. I've done it. And what he's not saying is not spelled out in Hinayana teaching. He says, I've taught so many of my disciples to walk the path to myself. And therefore, you should too. You can be taught too. Is that clear? The message is so clear in the Four Noble Truths, 3 turnings. You can end all this mess. I've done it. Many people have done it. You should do it too. So what is implication? Mahayana will tell you, you want to go to the Pure Land, find someone who knows how to go to the Pure Land. Hinayana, they do it by learning from the Buddha. He says, Buddha became enlightened, became a 4th-stage Arhat, therefore I follow his teachings. Yes? That's called faith. What else? If you want to go to the Pure Land, you have to put faith in someone who knows how to go to the Pure Land. Instead of saying, I learned like YongHua, I learned from this teacher, I learned from that teacher, I learned from that teacher, I put them together, and therefore I have faith in everyone. I really have faith in the Dharma, I really have faith in all the teachers. Seriously? If you have faith, all the teachers are equivalent to having faith in any one teacher. You only have faith in all the teachers, meaning you have faith in no one. No. Yes. 3.
Master, I asked a question a few nights ago about the faith that you comment the Chinese don't understand faith in Pure Land. And I think you just answered the question, right? So faith is a good non-advisor. That's how I interpret.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm coming to that. In Mahayana, Hinayana, you can see the difference in the flavors. Like when you go to eat in a restaurant, you go into a Chinese restaurant, they use Chinese spices. You go to Korean restaurant, they use red-looking stuff. Okay, I don't know what they are. But the point here is that there's a Hinayana flavor where you can recognize by saying, am I doing it right? Okay? And that's very Hinayana. He says, tell me I'm doing it right. Okay? Whereas in Mahayana, what do? Tell me what to do. When I have to figure out whether I'm doing it right, that means I try so many things, I'm not sure which one is right. That's for, can you tell me which one I should be doing? It's the same that they all end up with is that they have to ask someone who knows how to do it. That's Mahayana Pure Land Buddhism. Stop saying that if I recite this, if I eat I eat only onion, not garlic, and then I recite 10 times a day, and I recite Buddha's name a day, and so forth. If I do all those things, am I doing it right? That's Hinayana mindset. Mahayana is that tell me what to do. You know the way. You don't have to correct me what I'm doing is right or wrong. It's not important. You tell me how I can get there. And that's called faith. You don't have faith. That's why you say, I'm not sure. Can you tell me am I doing it right? Tell me. It's the same as YongHua saying, I learned this from this master, I learned that from master, so I combine together. Is it right? So he goes to the third master, is this right? Fourth master, is it right? There's no faith whatsoever. If you have faith, tell me. What do I need to do? If you have faith, then you find the right person who knows how to do it, then what's there to worry about? I don't get it. What is the problem now? It's no different from Chan school. You want to become enlightened? Find someone who knows how to become enlightened, who has taught people how to become enlightened. What are you waiting for? Why you have to figure it out yourself? Faster to say, okay, so you have disciples who have become enlightened, like Master YongHua. Tell me what to do. Same thing in Pure Land Buddhism. They don't dare teach you because they don't know how to really bring you to the Pure Land. And it shows. You can look at them and say, everyone, I don't know. I feel good coming to the temple. I feel good on the weekend going to the temple and do these silly Dharma doors and bowing and repentance, everything and so forth. But at the end of the day, I'm still not sure I can make it. Why? Because your master says, I'm not sure either. And I'm talking about Jin Gong's disciples. He's dead now, so I can tear him to shred him to pieces. It's a wrong approach to Pure Land Buddhism. Find a teacher who knows how to bring you to the Pure Land. It's that simple. You don't have to figure it out. And put your faith in that person. That's all. So the next question is, how do I find that person? What do I know? If I found one, I would keep it to myself. One day, when I have enough blessings, I'll find that teacher myself. It takes blessings. What do you think? Yes. Question from JC. And when you find that teacher, don't say, can I do it my way? Go ahead, JC.
안녕하십니까, 마스터. 헬로, 마스터.
안녕하세요.
최근에 그 능엄경에 있는 그 연불 원통장을 읽고 있습니다. Great Strength, Bodhisattva's Perfect Penetration. 그 선화상인님의 강설본을 읽고 있는데요. 거기에 이제 그 요까지 일단은 저 통역 부탁드리겠습니다, 세라님.
Hi, Master. Recently, reading Shangama Sutra, the part that great strength, perfect penetration. And it will continue.
거기에 이제 그 말미에 마지막 그 부분에 도섬 육군 정념 상계 부분이 있습니다. 그래서 그 영어로 gathering in the six sense faculties, 그다음에 그 정념 상계는 continuous pure mindfulness 부분이 있는데요. 그 정념 상계에서 그러니까 그 continuous pure mindfulness 부분에서 선화상인께서 그 염불을 계속 하지만은 너는 그 염이 없이 계속 염을 할 수 있어야 된다 이렇게 말씀하십니다. 그러니까 영어로 it has to be that you recite without reciting, without reciting, you are still reciting. 그러니까 그 reciting이 없이 쭉 계속 이제 그 reciting을 해야 되는 부분이 나오는데요. 그 부분에 대한 어떤 그 경계를 좀 여쭈고 싶습니다. 어떤 그 부분이 함의되어 있는 건지 여쭈고 싶습니다. 예.
So the end part of that section, there's this part that gathering six sense faculties, continuing pure mindfulness. And on that section, Great Master YongHua explained you need to recite without reciting. Without reciting, you need to recite. So I'd like to ask a question, what kind of state is this? Would you explain for me what this is?
You have to ask Master YongHua. I would not explain it that way. And this is a problem. You recite without reciting. You don't know what he's talking about. Why should he explain to you that way when you say, huh? When you say, you recite Buddha's name, you recite, and you're not reciting? I said, for me, as a Western educated person, I said, seriously? Can you speak English to me? Huh? Say it in English. Is there some translation issues? Reciting and not reciting? Of course, he's correct, but it's not something you can understand. I adore him. He's my idol, but there are certain things that he explains that will not be applicable to you. It's nonsense to you, nonsense to me as well. Okay? What happened to the kid? Your kid, he's not making noises tonight. What happened to him? Did we beat him up or what? Did you threaten him? Or iPad, I see. Okay, you got the message. I even taught my disciples, I'll beat up his manic ghosts. Are you kidding me? Kids, by the way, my policy is I'm trying to share with you my thinking. When you raise kids, you don't want to suppress them. You don't want to oppress them. It's not good for them. Okay? So we as adults need to make sacrifices and let them misbehave. Okay? And that's how we cultivate. We endure it. Okay? We need to endure it first before we can teach them. If you say, I avoid these problems, then you cultivate in fear. You cultivate afflicted. You know, afflicted. You scream, you do whatever. We bear with it. Until one day, let me say, enough. Okay? It's about time I teach you. You see? And that way, you see, we practice tolerance. We embrace them. We're not afraid. We're willing to pay the price. Okay? But there comes a point in time when the time is ripe, and then it's no longer oppression. It's about teaching him properly at the right time. So we raise kids, we need to avoid oppressing them, suppressing them. Okay? It's not just kids. That's how we train students as well. We don't oppress you. We let you free. Okay? When you screw up, I like to say, I give you more rope for you to hang yourself. Okay? You decide to be a bad person, I give you more rope. Okay? You hang yourself, I don't need to do anything. You see? Kids too, we cannot do that to them. We give them more ropes until they're about to hang themselves, then we stop. And then you say, okay, enough is enough. It's time for you to learn this. Okay? I feel in that way, we become better parents, better adults, and they become better kids. You know, kids understand more than you think. They're pushing you constantly. They're pushing us constantly. They're pushing the envelope constantly. Ask your parents. They will tell you that. Yeah, you've been pushing the envelope all these years. Now I hope you become a parent yourself one day and you know how tough it is. Huh? And that's how you connect with them. This is what stays with them. My dad bore with me. My naughtiness, my nastiness, he bore it. He put up with it. That's what adults are supposed to do. It's called nurturing. We take losses when we nurture people. It's annoying, yes. And one day, we let them have it, right? And this is, all the accumulation of all those years. You cannot blame me for, you asked for it all these years. Finally, you get it, what's due to you. You see, that's nurturing. It's okay. Same thing. Pure Land Buddhism, the same thing. Okay? Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master, for the Hankook Sarang and JC. When you ask about Great Master Shenhua recite without reciting, the closest English example I can think of is from an American comedy movie called Wedding Crashers. There's a scene with the American actress Jane Seymour. She's sitting at a big table before the wedding. And she looks over at the American actor Vince Vaughn. And she looks at him very sternly and she says, "You shut your mouth when you're talking to me."
There's wisdom in there, but I give me some time to figure it out. You see, that's a problem when you say you recite without reciting and so forth, like Master Shenhua likes to do. I have an issue with that because it bothered the heck out of me for years. I said, seriously? And I went around and asked his disciples, is that what you do? He said, yes. 3.
Someone shared a few nights ago, they were reciting, and then the sound disappeared and the reciting continued in the mind. Is that similar to that state?
No, it's different. What he's talking about is not something you understand. Actually, you're able to do that, but you don't realize it. That's why it's complicated to explain to you. That's why he opens a can of worms that, that for low-level people, they explain it to you, and then it becomes mysticism, and you guys walk around and have these false ideas about reciting without reciting. And the advanced people say, oh, of course, that's what it is. Okay, so it's obvious and so forth. That's why Master Shenhua, the way he explained it, it's very typical Chinese Buddhism. They like to explain it like that, and I don't like it because it confused the heck out of me. It bothered me so many years. For so many years, I said, I know it's the words of wisdom, but I'm so stupid. I don't get this. And what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? And that's when you doubt yourself. But lucky for me, I'm too arrogant. I say, I'm not stupid. You may think I'm stupid. I know I'm not stupid. So I'll figure it out one day. Okay? But it's that particular answer to that particular question from Bundang, YongHua there, I say, don't worry about it. Gathering the six sense organ is also nonsense. Okay, and the Chinese like to say that, and to me, it causes confusions. It's not meant for people like you. To say together the six sense organs and to recite, not recite, is not meant for you. And I assure you that the great strength Bodhisattva, when he taught us he advocated that we recited the Buddha's name, is not meant for you to understand it that way. Not at all, I assure you. Okay, that's why I disagree respectfully with Master Hsuan explanation. So for all practical purposes, go ask him. I'm not going to answer you. Okay? Because I refuse to go in that direction. It takes too long to explain to you. It's too long. A certain teaching is this fast. If you have to say, gather six sense organs, recite, not recite, and they say, huh? And that's not certain teaching. The certain teaching is that you get it, you're supposed to get it. Okay? So, ignore that. Okay? Don't read that. Move on. It's good that you read. It's good that you read Master YongHua and you have questions. Feel free to come back to me and I will explain them for you. Okay? Remember, the way Master YongHua taught is, I tell you, the way he teaches his pupils is because the teachers have a problem. They only teach to the people who came to listen to them. So back then, his disciples are not that good. The one that you read was explained to a bunch of grad students from Washington who came for summer break in the late 60s or early 70s. And their level is not very high. And he also has another constraint. That is, he needs to transfer the Chinese knowledge to English, to the United States. So he had to refer back to how the Chinese was taught. The Chinese teaching is very important for us to have it. Okay? So he did that already. But the problem is that, first of all, the people who were there were not very high level. And that's why they never ask good questions. I would have asked immediately where I came from. Oh, gather six sense organs. Could you tell me specifically how to do that? You tell me how to recite, not recite? I would ask right away. Okay? But for some reason, there was not ever asked because the Chinese never dare ask themselves. But it's very important for us to hear all those. And I say, yes, it makes sense. Yes, his teaching is correct. Yes, the Thai Chinese teaching is profound. It is correct. But it causes problems for us in the West. Causes problems for us in the Dharma ending age in the 21st century. Does it make sense to most of you? Almost all of you. That's why I don't teach it. I don't talk like that. Because it wastes, I spend more time trying to explain to you, and only handful of you will get it, and the most of you will not get it. It's a waste of time. I would not talk like that. I don't like the Chinese style of explaining. It's too abstract. Okay? And especially for him to explain it, I tell you, the real need is to transfer the Chinese technology into English. It has to be spoken. He said, I brought this Dharma from China to the US. This is the Dharma, okay? Gathering your six sense organs, then recite without reciting. That is a Chinese Dharma. But we cannot blindly repeat it because ultimately for me, what are the results? Whatever he taught his entire life, How far did his students get? It shows me, it tells me that the teaching, in particular in that field, in that chapter, from Great Strength Bodhisattva, his students could not understand that Dharma. That's why they cannot get Pure Land Buddhism. That's why I don't teach like that. That's why I'm grateful to him to show me the path. And when you do it that way, it's not going to work. It has to be a better way. Okay? So it's good you read it, but move on. Don't try to understand. I will not try to explain to you either. Okay? It's good. In the future, can I say next lifetimes? Then it will make sense to you. Right now, you have a family, you have a daughter to take care of. You need to do that first. In the future, when you have more freedom, you have more blessings, then they will make sense to you, I promise, but not now. Okay? It's good you read it. It will be clear. Those Vajra seeds will be in you. But that's good enough for now. I will not waste further time in trying to understand it. All right? That's what happens in Master YongHua. When I ask you to read Master YongHua stuff, it's for you to plant the seeds. Okay, some will make sense to you, some don't make sense to you. You can ask. If it is helpful, I will explain to you. If it's not helpful, I will refuse. Okay? That's all. Feel free. Okay? Thank you, everyone. We stop here tonight. Oh, you still have one more question? Might as well. We're way beyond schedule. Yes, 8.
So I wanted to ask, because today is my 5th day of fasting, and you say I should do 5 days. Could I extend it to Sunday?
Okay, there's beginning to have a little bit of noise in the background. Could you repeat, please?
Yeah, sorry. So this is my 5th day of fasting.
5th day?
Yeah, and you say I should do 5 days, but could I extend it until Sunday?
You want to do it till Sunday?
Yep.
You sure you want to do it? There's a lot more suffering.
Yeah, but I want to try it.
And Saturday will be Chinese food day. Are you sure you want to miss it?
Yeah, but I was told that I have to eat porridge anyway.
It's much better than Chinese food in Spain. They are working very hard to prepare a feast for Saturday. Are you sure you want to miss it?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Could you believe it? I'm trying to talk him out of cultivation. Okay, if you insist, be that way.
Okay, thank you, Master.
Okay, you can sure easily do it till Sunday.
Sorry?
You can do it till Sunday.
Okay.
It's not a problem for you.
Okay, thank you, Master.
Okay, we stop here tonight. Thank you, everyone. Let's do the great transference.